Hello, welcome to my 7th C# tutorial. It's been a very long time since my last one, but sorry for the delay. I'll start making them again. I've just been teaching myself Objective-C and writing some iPhone games and stuff like that. But let's get back to C#. So up to now we've learned quite a bit. We've learned about how to print stuff to the screen, getting input from user, variables, data types, comparing variables, stuff like that there. Very key vital things. But now let's move on a little bit more. In this tutorial we're going to learn about things called loops. In this tutorial specifically we're going to learn about the for loop, and if we have time in this tutorial maybe the while loop. If not, we'll cover that in another tutorial. But what pretty much loops are is loops, as the title suggests, loop a piece of code over and over again a certain number of times, which you state. So if you wanted to type out a line of whatever text to the screen 100 times, you wouldn't have to type it out 100 times or copy and paste it out 100 times. You would just write 1 or 2 lines of code and it'll do it for you. So let's go ahead and I'll just give you an example. So first of all, you need to go ahead and create another console application, and we're going to write console.writeLine. Whoops, if I could spell it would be useful. And we're just going to write line 1. Okay, so say if I was doing this, I'm just going to copy and paste it because I'm lazy, and we're going to change this to line 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then console.read key, as we want it to stay open. Okay, so that should run without any errors. So if I wanted to do this, there we go, simple enough. Okay, not too time consuming, but why write all that there when I can write it once? Okay, so how can I do that? Well, let's break it down a bit. First of all, we want this to write. We want to write 5 times, okay? So let's not worry about this number just yet. Okay, let's go to, we need to write 4 because it's called a for loop, and it's going to loop for a number of times. Okay, so first of all we need an integer to, or we need a variable to count how many times it loops. So we have to create a variable. In this case it's an integer type. We give it a name, and it's going to call, we're just going to call it count. Okay, and we're going to initialize it as 0. Okay, so then we do a comma, and we need to state what it's going to be up to. So while count is less than 6, well, we'll change that to less than and equal to, or less or equal to 5. Okay. Oh, I'm making a very big mistake. That's supposed to be semicolons. I'm sorry. Been using other programming languages. Sorry about that. Okay, now we need to increment the count variable. So each time it loops, it adds 1 onto the count variable. Okay, so let's just recap this. We create an integer variable called count. We set it equal to 0. Or actually we need to set this equal to 1 if we want it to say 1 there. Okay, so while count is less than or equal to 5, it's going to run this code. If it's greater than 5, then we're just going to skip this code and execute the next bit. So what happens each time this loops, we're going to add 1 to count. So let's run this and see what we get. There we go. We've got line 1 typed 5 times. Okay, good enough. Just to let you know what happens, you can put this in brackets or braces if you want, which you can write more than 1 line of code. If you're only writing 1, you don't need to. It'll run the same. I'll just show you again. There we go. Okay, so now let's get to work on changing this number. So we will add count and run that, and there we have line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very simple. And there you go. You've saved yourself. Well, I could write that all in 1 line. if I got rid of these brackets. So there you go, you write one line of code, and instead of writing, well, 5 as I had to before. So let's move on, okay, and I will show you a while loop. Okay, very much the same, only it's while. Well, let's initialize count. So int count, and we want it to equal to 1. Okay, semicolon, while count is less than or equal to 5. So what this is saying is, while this is true, so in other words, while count is less than or equal to 5, run the code in the brackets. Simple enough. And just write console.writeLine and line plus count, and there we have it. Whoops, what have I done? Oh yes, I meant to point this out to you. Okay, unlike in the last one, we never add or increment the count variable, so we have to do this count plus. Okay, last time we wrote it in the brackets. This time it's not a parameter, so we have to write it separately. If you don't, like before, it will just loop on forever, because count will always be equal to 1, so this will always be true. I hope I've explained that well enough for you. So yeah, very simple loops. There isn't much more to tell you about. All you need to know is that it loops all the code in these brackets, and it'll save you a bundle of time. They are so useful. There are a few more loops, but at the minute that's all you really need to know. In the next tutorial I will be teaching you about switch statements. I think will probably be the next one, and then after that we will move on to, we'll start progressing on to more complex stuff such as methods and things like instance variables, stuff like that there. Thanks for watching, please subscribe, and I hope you enjoy the video. Thanks.